What's up, guys? Okay, so today I had some issues that I thought might be a good little how-to kind of troubleshooting video. I know when I first started there wasn't a whole lot of this kind of stuff out there as far as troubleshooting issues that you have in the field. Today what had ended up happening is I got everything plugged in and I went to go and I armed my quad. Well, one of my motors started kind of skitching. It wasn't really kind of going, it wasn't going with the rest of them. So, obviously I couldn't do anything in the field right then. So I brought it home and now I'm going to take a look at it and I'm going to kind of go over the processes, the thought processes of what I do to troubleshoot certain issues. And this one's a pretty easy one. It's pretty basic, and I think but if you don't know how to do it, or the flow chart of this, I guess, then you're going to be kind of going in circles. So first things first, we're going to take a look at the quad. So we're going to take a look at this quad. First things first, we need to remove props. It is extremely important to remove props when you're when you're about to put a battery on to test some stuff. I just wanted to show you guys what's going on. So take props off. Always be safe, guys. These things will take your fingers off. Okay. I've already gone ahead and unscrewed the top here, but just for the sake of process, unplugged my VTX and okay, I'm going to set that aside. Now there's no noise, everything seems to be running right, so that's the things that I'm looking for. So I'm going to plug it up. I could do this through the Betaflight GUI, but I'm just going to do it this way. I'm just going to turn on my transmitter and do it this way. So turn on the transmitter.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Make sure nothing's touching. You don't want anything to short anything out. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, so we got lights, we got full tone, so that's a good thing. Full tone means that there is definitely power getting to the motors, to the ESCs, and to the flight controller. So I'm going to go ahead and arm, and you'll see what's happening. Okay, so this one right here is just not wanting to work right, and I'm getting a really crazy hum out of one of these other ones. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on and why it's making that noise. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn all this off, unplug. We're going to troubleshoot this motor first. So first things first, we are going to disconnect this motor, soldering iron. And then I'm going to take this motor off and I'm going to swap it out with this motor. And that's basically going to tell me whether or not it's the motor or the ESC. So if the problem follows where this motor goes, then it's definitely the motor. If this motor does the same thing this motor does and this motor is normal, then it's likely the ESC. That's pretty much the thought process there. If it doesn't change from there, then then you start moving closer in towards the board. So now I'm going to undo this motor. Alright, now I gotta solder them up. The main issue was that this was working just fine, and then out of nowhere it decided it was going to start doing this. I didn't crash, so I'm hoping it's nothing major. Alright, now we're going to plug the battery back in and turn on our transmitter. Let's see
Welcome to OpenTX.
if the problem persists. Okay, we're plugged in. Okay, so we've figured it out. So now this was the bad motor. And
Telemetry lost.
this is the motor, so it's definitely the motor that's bad, not the ESC. So that's a plus. Now, what could it be? It could be a couple of things.
Telemetry recovered.
The next thing that I would check after that will be these connections, because I had to elongate these wires because they were too short from another build. So now that's what we're going to check next. We're going to check those connections, make sure, because if they're not totally connected, they'll cause some funkiness. Okay, so like I said, the next thing I'm going to do is check these connections here. Okay. So honestly, I don't feel any breaks, and oop, that one might be having break. Yep, that one's definitely broken. It's definitely not all there. See? Yep, took that right off of there. I guarantee that's what it is. So we're gonna put that back on there. Put it on my helping hands over here. It's a little difficult with these little tiny wires like this. Alright. I'm gonna get this wet up again. Alright. I think we should be good. We're going to find out. Do this way. And you just got to make sure you get a really good solder spot on here. It's not exactly the easiest way to do this, but if you get a good clean joint, then it shouldn't make any difference. Alright, and I think that should be, it looks pretty clean. Alright, now I'm going to put some heat shrink on it. And actually, you know what we're going to do? Yeah, we're going to put some heat shrink on it. I don't want to take any chances. Just a little bit. I save all of my heat shrink, every little piece, because you never know when you run out, when you're going to need some. Alright, put it back on there. I'm going to shrink that down with my torch. Okay. Now, I've got that fixed up, and looks better. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to put this motor back on and see how it runs. Okay, now fingers crossed that this was the problem. And if it is, then this video is over. If not, we're going to keep on going. Okay, let me get my transmitter.
Welcome to OpenTX.
Alright, fingers crossed. They're all running, look at that. That's all it was. We are in good shape. Oh. Look at that. All of them are going. Cool. Alright guys. So, luckily that was the easy way to find out. So once again, when you're troubleshooting, you start from the outside. I generally start from the outside and go in. You start at the motors, work your way into the ESCs, and then go into the flight controller. Check all of your connections on your signal pads, all of your grounds and powers, and then if that's still not it, then it could be something in the in beta flight, and you can go into the guided user interface or the GUI and check it out from there. And you can always, there's various ways to do that, but this was as far as we got. So it turned out all it was a bad connection on the extended wire. So I hope that helps everybody, because I know that there's been people out there that have asked that question. There's this constant, oh, my motor's sketching out, everything's set up right, everything's fine, it was flying right just a minute ago. And it comes down to, we beat these things up. I mean, they really, really, really take a beating. And sometimes just the littlest thing like that, like one little wire, can kind of ruin your afternoon. So hope you guys, that helped everybody out. If there's anything y'all need, hit me up in the comments and ask me questions, and maybe I'll do some more of these instructional type videos. Okay? All right, you guys have a good one. Later.